Hello. Today on this Monday, it's a very special broadcast to figure out who will be the champion in A1. They thought it was destined to be Simon, but Dustin, who has a very vested interest in the series, managed to pull out a plus 150 across my last four games. And they're playing all four games of their series today. We were not able to stream the first one, but Simon took a small win, getting a plus 25 in the first game. But that doesn't mean it's over yet. Korak starting off with a fairly decent hand. The Sanzo as the Dora indicator, always a good sign. Except there's one less Sanzo that can be used in the hand. Korak getting a pretty good improvement. It's a 1-4 Nobitan shape. I imagine he'll probably throw out the East. This is just a really efficient hand, and he does do so. And Joe. That hand's not terrible. Korak gets the Dora. Doesn't quite have anything to connect to it yet, though. But it's gonna be pretty good if he can. I imagine he might just end up on a Tonki weight on it. Actually, it's gonna be like so terrible for actually winning. Oh, Joe going to the half flush in the Dora suit with a Chun pair and Chun not thrown yet. That's going to be really valuable if you can win that hand. Yeah, it's four pairs even, so that's
Home.
Honitsu Chitoy two shotted, but you don't need to go Honitsu Chitoy, and yeah, just can pawn again and then win. The West, oh, it's been cut once, but Point is holding on to the last one of those. Hopefully, for his sake, Point will get it out before it's the dealing tile. And Simon on the left has an okay Shantan. Oh, but actually, Joe's Tempai on a Sanzo, but there are no more Sanzos left for that
Con.
weight to win. Obviously, he's got a con. Flips to the Naimon as the Dora, so Point has quite a bit of incentive to push. Will he throw out? Throws out the 7 so. They just connected the 6 so. Imagine he's just scared of the hand, and the 7 so came out a few turns from Korak, and Joe did not chi that. So he just figures that it is safe. Or actually, trying to go Chi
Dome.
Toy, but you have the 2 Dora, but throws the Sanzo, deals into 5,200 from Joe. Right, the Sama special with the pay being the Dora, that is only in singleton form in two players' hands. Simon really thinking about calling this
Home.
White Dragon. Decides to call it after a pause. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. That was your pair, and
Home.
this isn't Ishanten. It's just okay. Draws a pretty good 6 so. So if he can chi the 7 pin, he'll have a Rhiannon weight. And will be able to end Joe's dealership, which will be pretty helpful to him in the sense that Joe will not be able to keep on winning hands. And Joe was almost first in that last game, just lost out on it by just a few points. Ooh, point as a flush brewing in the Pinzu. The Hatsu called already. Keeping that Dora, still not paired up yet though.
Chi.
There's that Chi that Simon's looking for. Tempai and 7 pin. Ooh. Unless Korak might be able to avoid this by drawing a 6 pin and thinking about a 5, 6, 7 slide. It's a very distant, but having thrown that 8 earlier, it's feels like dealing in to Simon is just a matter of time. And Joe, oh no, Joe was like gonna be. Joe also has a lone 7 pin. Could have been saved by that 6 pin, but just throws it back. I guess he must
Dome.
be thinking about a Chinitsu or something. But yeah, deals in for the 1,000 to Simon. Still in first, not a big deal, but would have been nice to have that dealership. And Point has a potential 789 Sanjaku, even like the 4-5, but it's a little far away either way. Maybe probably just a Rigi Pinfu and Naimon Dora. It's kind of hard to use. Yeah. Except for Point has a 7-8 Ryamen, but Simon and Korak both have the 8-9 Penchon. They at least have the door confirmed, but yeah, if that Korak getting draws like that, oh, throws a one so I guess does not want to commit to a flush at this point. Joe's hand was looking pretty good with that 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pin shape, but with all the penchons, it was just not really improving. Yeah. Point's hand is looking decently fast. Yeah. Gets that pair and has a perfect Ishanten for Ricci Pinfu possible Dora. Oh, it's Simon fills in that crucial 7 pin for that Dora acceptance.
リーチ
Correct drew a 6, but still needs that 7. And Joe gets Ricci Pinfu on 5-8, so thankfully Point threw out the 8 so before it became dangerous. It's just 1-5 so and 1-8 so left in the wall for that weight. But yeah, no one really has an incentive to throw out their 5-8 so at all. Unless they're like really desperate for the half Suji, since the 2 so is boots it to Joe. With Korak actually getting that third 6 so, that may put him in trouble if he decides to trust one chance as a defensive play here. And Point, oh, 6 to dot or 6 to Mugiru's row, just not getting that Tempai with the perfect Ishanten.
リー
Gets
チ
Tempai with Dora, slams the Ricci, 3-6 pin. That weight seems better. 2, 3 pin, 1-6
4
pin. Oh, but yeah, that one chance. And well, actually just probably just one chance plus playing safe to the dealer gets corrected deal in. So Joe with a pretty nice lead here. Oh, Simon has the Chitoi Ishanten, but also just 2 Yakuai pairs. The rest of those pairs are very hard to call though. 2 5s and 8 is less hard to call, but if you can get Chitoi, you could slam it on the East, but East is a very dangerous tile to the dealer, especially when it's double East. So might even just wait. Surprised he didn't keep the South as it's once cut and is a bit less suspicious. But I guess if you do start throwing stuff like 7 pin, someone's gonna be a bit more alerted to that cheat toy. And then there's a bit of a backfire for Simon's hand. Could have just tried to have that 7, 8, 9 so as a flush alternative to get some value out of his hand, but yeah, Chun comes out and it is passed, and Simon must have just determined that this
リー
hand is
チ
Chitoy. Oh, an early Ricci for Joe. That is. Oh, that Pinfu? No, it's not. It is an Anko. Ricci, Dora, 2 5 pin weight. Very live. Just 1 2 pin, but 3 or all 4 5 pin, but they are near the Dora, so it's gonna be a little hard to get those. But
ポン
if Joe can do anything, it is Sumo. Now, if Simon greets with a Toy here, throwing the 2 4 pin, he will deal in. Does call the Hatsu to get in the Hatsu, or yeah, probably just Hatsu, no Toy Toy. That would be a little too greedy. And still, none of those two 5-pin have come out in the wall since the Ricci has occurred. So point has a
1、
lot of rearmament in that hand, but wait, the Dora. Oh, the Dora was safe, so that gets cheated by Simon, who has a perfect E Shanten, but getting those tiles could be a little tricky. 5-8, so and 5 on or 4-7 mon. Yeah, none of those are safe to the dealer, I believe. Or the Ricci. Oh, there's a 5-pin. Is it gonna push this 5-pin and deal in? He's not. Maybe 8 so. Avoids dealing in for now. Finally, one of those 5-pin, and then a 2-pin. 2-pin. If you trust it, it is near the Dora, but it is one chance from his perspective. But he might have nothing better. But 5 says near the Ricci. Oh,
4、
the 2-pin deals in. So with the Ricci Dora, add 1 or 5,200. Joe with a pretty commanding lead, and everyone else below 30,000 as we go into South 1. Okay, Korak. Oh, he's gonna has that lone Dora. There's only one of those in points hand so far, but I know Korak is gonna be greeting onto that for his dear life. It's just a question of who's gonna draw it first. Oh, he's probably cursing. Oh, that's the third pair. With the door in hand, it has to be Cheetoy. Or well, if you do get the Dora pair, then I'm sure he will just try to force it to be a Toy Toy. And those aren't the worst pairs for that, with a 9 and an 8. 4 is not great, but that's good enough, especially when you have the Dora. Granted, you need to get another one still. That 2-3-4 Monfill might be the end of that. Joe just needs to fill in that Kanchan and can get a pretty good Ricci Pinfu out of that. Might throw one so here. Yeah, try to get like a Tanya force if you really need to. Simon's shapes could use a little bit of work with that. It's a lot of Kanchans there. Ryankans, etc. And now, ooh. Point is kind of an awkward Shanten, but if you fill in the 5-pin or the 2-pin, you can have a Rhiannon wait.
1、
I guess you could just get a 3-pin as well of that 1-2-2 pin, so it's not the worst Shanten, I guess.
本部、
Joe gets Tempai. 6-pin 3 so could have done 1-4-7-pin. Granted, 1 pin would be no Yaku, but Joe believes in the power of Sanzo. But when you need one of them and you already have two, it's a little hard to get one of
1、
those. And there's Tempai for point. Which way does he choose? I imagine with 1-2 pin out, yeah, goes for the Penchon 3-pin. And there are 3 of those left in the wall. One drawn by Korak, but that fits in his hand, who is also one away from Tempai. Just most likely. Ooh. It throws 9
相撲、
9. Oh, with Joe gets the third Sanzo, the last Sanzo in the wall, shuts down the Ricci. Definitely Joe's game to lose here, but oh, that's that a flush? Not quite, but the Hatsu pair. It's pretty nice. Plus the Dora and a connecting tile next to it. Throws a 5 mon. I mean, I don't know. That's a little bold. It's a little crazy, some would say. This I don't know. With four tiles of a suit, is he gonna go is that the sign to go pin flush? Throws the two so. Because it's not like the worst thing, because something I like to do is just if I think a hand is just not gonna get anything, like not necessarily not gonna get anything, but I like to play like a hand that can go a flush so that it will go a flush, just in case. Like you get the tiles for it, but not even getting that Hatsu. It's not even in anyone's hand. It's still stuck in the wall. The West also not coming out. Now with Joe says he hates Cheetah. This could also be a Cheetah with 3 pairs and the Dora. There's no backfires on a pair yet. So maybe it's just not a Cheetah. Korek, that is a unfortunately can't really slide to be a Junchan, but that is one away from a Sanjaku with a Dora. If you can get it closed, it's worth quite a bit of points. What an unfortunate backfire for point. Throwing away the double south and drawing it again immediately. Ooh, that 7 pin fill-in is
Pump.
yeah. And gets the west pawn. Still needs that green dragon. Still not anywhere, but 5800 half flush is not the worst thing in the world, especially in Akanashi. And there's a
Pump.
green dragon, gets sent out immediately. But still not Tenpai. But there are a lot of draws here that can get this to a very wide Tenpai for Joe. Granted, it will be obvious that this is going to be waiting in Pinzu, but until there's an overflow, people might just not care. And oh, that's 5 6 8 9 or 3 5 6 8 9 pin Tenpai. Pretty good. And that is an overflow though, but who's gonna end up throwing? At least Korak can have the 6 9 pin. And ooh. Is he gonna push that 8 pin? He has to know it's dangerous. It is a long Suji, but it's not safe at all because long Suji
Eat.
is not a guarantee. It was gonna reach you on the Sanzo. Okay. Those two. Oh, just one more of
T.
those Sanzos left. A one so. Oh,
Sumo.
but it gets Joe the Sumo on the 3 pin. 2000 all. Pretty good hand for Joe. And ooh, this. Now this is definitely a cheat to win. 3 pairs, just the awful shapes. If you're lucky, you keep white red and you can just paw to make this a toy. 1 pin and pay are pretty good pairs for
Pump.
that. But point, yeah, point is gonna have the double south, hopefully. Although, oh, it is the indicator, so getting that last south could be a problem. But at least Hatsu only could shift to a flush. Although, if you were gonna do that, I would imagine you wouldn't throw the pay. Maybe just uh winning just winning 1000 with his hand just feels very bad. You're hoping you can like play efficiently and get the double south and the
Pump.
Hatsu, so that'll be 4200.
T.
All right, I guess with that 2 pin
Pump.
pair, yeah, pawns. I guess it'll be at least Hatsu Toy, if not Hatsu double non Toy, but huh. I mean, taking that last pawn to go Hadaka it's definitely worth it for the value. And Alex has all of the what's the word? He has incentive to get those points, being on the very edge of demotion. But it feels so bad to have like, well, you have 2 choices if someone reaches
Pump.
the current tile you have and the next, well, the tile you drew. Oh, Simon calling for a Tanyao, but can get fucked over by the 1/4. So except there's only one more one so to draw, so that's actually not too big of a chance of happening. See that 4-7 mon is dying off. Just one more of each in the wall. And ooh, fortunate point didn't greed the Dora and could have had a very nice.
1、
I think Hanuman. Yeah, with the souths and the west, that'd be a Hanuman Tempai. And now Simon's Tempai on that 4-so. There's okay, the 1-so comes out, but there's no Yaku on that. Still two more 4-so in the wall for Simon to win off of. I'm a bit surprised that the 4-7 Mon just hasn't come out yet. Yeah, Joe actually folding throughout all three of those pays. Just doesn't want to deal in, even though I guess you don't necessarily know that this hand isn't Hatsu Toy Toy. So I guess it's probably fair to fold out. I'm surprised he is folding out though. I guess I imagine he probably throws one pin, one pin, one pin next. And another 7 mon. Point just cannot win with this Ryaman wait. It's the kind of thing that almost makes you wish like you never took one of those. Just greeted that Dora until you just pair it up. That would have been really nice to have. And correct with those 4 mon and 7 mon just managing to avoid dealing in. Oh, yeah. And as I said, the Joe threw out the one pin, one pin, one pin, and finally drew that last south that Point's been hoping for. Korek could or just stays Dama. I believe that is Tempai on the 7 pin, but yeah. 2 more 7 pins left. And yeah, that
4、
gets to hit Simon. Great for that positional play. Brings Korak to second. But some would be surprised. I mean, you shouldn't really be surprised. It is a bad weight. It is late. And it has a Yaku, so you can Dama, but didn't call Ricci. Didn't punish Simon for having 4 choices, although I imagine one of those choices probably would have been safer than 7 pin. So might not have dealt in. So getting those temporary points for the placement is probably fine. Okay, point has an Uncle 5 pin. That it can be like both. It can look like I have like the 567 or the 789 Sanchoku, but it's a few steps away. With that 3 pin, that looks more
ポン、
like the 7-9, but those in the 9 pin. That Korak, what is that pawn? This is I mean, I get there are like no ugh. Maybe if you had like a 2 mon or an 8 mon, it's like a Junshan Nomi, but that's just like so bad feeling, in my opinion. I guess the plan is to just like Chanta Dora 2 with having the one Dora in hand, but that is so far away, I feel like. That I think that is Tempai for Alex. He wants to take it on the 6-0, waits at least one turn, doesn't want to take just that. Doesn't reach you after the one turn. I mean, I think that's fair. There's like you have like twice as much chance to draw an improvement to Ryaman as the Sumo. Except you do see the 3 Asos out
1、
already. So now do we see a Sumo Giririsha chase against
1、
Joe? And that it comes out now. It does feel bad, especially after a 6-0 came out. Granted, Simon probably would not throw that 6-0 if he had Rishi'd earlier. But let's see. 4-7 on wait for Joe, but just a 6-0 for Alex at the dealer seat.
1、
It's not. Ooh, Simon doesn't want to give up. Although, yeah, throwing that 3-4-5 or throwing that 6-0 from a 3-4-5-6-0 shape is gonna feel pretty bad though. But it's gonna be saved.
4、
Ooh, Alex gets to win on the 6-0, collecting those 2 Ricci 6 for the Ricci Nomi. So Joe does deal in with the better weight, but not a not a terrible deal in. And he gets rewarded with a pair of Dora next, although is it really a reward if you're kind of forced to go Cheetoy with that hand? Three pairs and one of your pairs is the Dora. A fourth pair. Oh wait, no. That mm, rejects the Cheetoy. I respect it, but at the same time, ugh. It does have two Rihanna, but with those three pairs, I don't know. I don't know. It kind of you should just accept your door pair and go for the Cheetoy, I believe. Yeah, that'd be your fifth pair now of that East. Alex has the Tune pair. It's not in anyone else's hand though, and oh yeah, it's three pairs for Korak,
Home.
another three for Simon. Yeah, just looking like a total pair hand. At 6, 7, 8, I guess you can still like if you like Anko up some of those pairs, you can get a normal hand, but it's just sometimes you have to recognize when a hand is Cheetoy. Well, there's an Anko though. Gets the five so out. That's kind of I guess if you do get that East 8 so weight, or like any weight with either the East or the 8 so, that's gonna be pretty good, but it's like really
Home.
inefficient. Finally that tune comes out. At least Joe threw out the 5 so first, and it wasn't cheat by point, so he'd be a little safe for a little bit. That's 5 8 so Tapai for 3,200 for Alex. 5 so drawn by Simon, but it
1、
fits in the hand. Ooh, that 5 so that just
4、
comes right out from Korak. Surprised it just me just wasn't scared, so just keeping the Hatsu as a safe towel for later. All right. Alex with another Dora in their hand. Pretty okay shapes. Simon with a double south, though. But Joe with all of the incentive to keep that south. Two honor pairs. An, another pair in the so suit, and then just an Anko of two so. It's gonna be a monster toy hand if he can get all of those. That's a great Kanchan fill-in for Alex. You're gonna take, yeah, it's Ryoncon, no, or I think that's no baton, Ishantan. Hopefully, you want to fill in that Ryoncon first to get a two-sided weight that can accept the Dora.
本、
There's a 5, so yeah, comes out, gets pawned. I imagine Joe will probably hold into that double south for this last cut, or maybe even wait on it. I guess it would be more efficient to wait on the 1 3 so.
1、
And there's a Ryoncon fill for Alex. Gets the 5 8 pin weight. Uh, 1 5 pin, 2 8 pin left in the wall, but the 8 pin is the Dora. Simon did throw it out, actually. But probably good to Sakigiri it. And ooh, the South pair up for Joe, but it's Mochi Mochi. If Simon doesn't have a better option to throw, might decide to throw it for safety. But he has at least two Tumon for now. Oh, Joe. I mean, you could, yeah. If you like get one of those, you actually you really shouldn't con those, but it's gonna be tempting.
缶、
Oh, and con's there. I I don't know. Does flip the 9 so as the Dora, but threw it out already and doesn't have any more. Some of those 5 pin still need to show up in someone's hand.
7
Oh, a Chi by Simon. Not. It's not a K-Tenchi. Could have had Tenpai there. Just throws the 9 mon. I imagine that probably shifts a high taste somewhere, but I'm not. I'm pretty bad at doing that kind of math. Joe draws a 9 so again, but now that it's Dora, it's looking a little grim. Although I
8
believe the 6-0 was saved to the Ricci, so it is at least Suji. Oh, I believe. Oh yeah, Simon read the
7
wall. He drew that 8 pin after the
本
Chi, so that stopped Alex from sumoing. Now South White Dragon Tenpai for Joe. If Simon has nothing better than the South. Oh no,
4
Joe! Draws the Dora. Unfortunate. Will he get punished by the Yura? Oh, he did already give one Dora, so technically yes, but no. Because it was going to be Mangan either way. Just it's the same Uradora that he flipped as the new Dora. It is unfortunate, but like the con, while you're already open, I guess it didn't actually matter, but it could have been a lot worse. That's a great hand for point to get to a flush. Well, it's not really. It's kind of there, but you do want at least one of those Yakuai pairs. But the Chun is a good starting point. Yeah,
本
actually, second thought, it is tempting to push of that Honitsu. Uh, that might have just been a Mongon, but with Joe having that 50,000 point lead, that I guess Joe doesn't need the points that badly, so it's not so
本
bad for him. Just being a little friendly for Alex, who's gonna possibly get out of demotion with those points. But that could have been a lot worse. So Joe gets the South Pawn, has two Shanten, but very, very good shapes. Gets to E Shanten now, perfect E Shanten even.
1
Well, had the option for perfect E Shanten, but takes more pawnable options. And there's Tenpai on the 4-7, so two of each left in the wall.
1
Oh, Ricci,
4
ooh. Thankfully, Simon deals in because that Ricci had a concealed Anko of the Dora, so that would have been very expensive if we ever dealt into that. All right, Korak, dealer with the Sanzo as the Dora indicator. Has one of those in his hand, but needs the Sanzo to fill in that 2-4 so Kanchan. Has a pair of South, he will undoubtedly call it. Probably thinking about getting those points with a 2-3-4 Sanchoku. But he'll probably just take the South Dora if he can get that. But there is that 2-4. 3 Conchons to fill in, though, is going to feel so bad, though. And Alex has all the Sanzo. He's never going to get it. Probably, yeah, Korak pausing quite a bit on this. Probably thinking, will he actually get South? Is this just Toy Toy? I mean, oh. I see. Simon's actually the dealer here. Has a pair of beasts. So I guess Korak will be, yeah, understandably with the double South,
1
going to hold on to that quite a bit more. Ooh,
1
that Chi. Hmm. I'm not sure if that chi really helps that much. So I think that was you shot him before. It's just
Pom.
this is at least in a way where that wait for the tune isn't going to be obvious because it looks like it could just be a Tanyao.
Chi.
And that other chi, yeah, Tenpai and one pin, Chun, Adazuke, only one pin to backfire on, and Korak on that Tenpai on Sanzo, but it is just dead. Obviously, he wants to chi that. Well, I mean, he can't even win because there's no Yaku. He just really needs that South. One pin comes out, but now there's no worry about Furryton for point. Just needs to get that Chun. But that Chun is just nowhere in the wall.
Sumo.
Oh, the sumo. Oh yeah, sumo Pinfu Tanyao for Joe, just ending it. Understandably, yeah, just needed to win any hand to win. Gets a first place, point with a pretty close second. Korak in third, and Simon in last. So that about cancels out the points that Simon gained from the first game with a slight, like 1 or 2 points more. So, like, 1 or 2 more of those games, and I could be the champion. It's what I'm looking for. I might be a little biased, just a little bit. All right. Um, if I have not said before, I believe they're playing all 4 games of the series today. And yeah, the next one will be starting in 2 minutes. So I'll be getting a bit of water before we go back into those. All right. We're waiting just a minute for this third game of the series to start. Wasn't able to comment on the stats before, but yeah, Korak calling quite a bit this season. Just the win rate really low, unfortunately. Simon, so the 28.5% win rate, which is about what my win rate is at. Yeah, 28.3. My dealing stats are a lot worse, but the EVs about the same at this point, but they can change with the last 2 games. And now we're starting with Korak in the dealer seat. Gonna be looking at that Itsu with the Dora. Simon with a flush looking hand. Yeah, it just is a flush. It just is unfortunate that none of those Yakuai are paired up. but sometimes you just have to take what the tiles give you. All right, Alex. Kind of looking like a cheat toy, even a toy, except those pairs are pretty bad to call. Now, Simon might just have to accept that this could just be a normal land of that 5-6 pin draw. Fortunately, Korak gets a little bit of a backfire, throwing that 9 pin. It's like technically, yeah, the 5-9 pin is efficient because you can draw that 7 pin and draw into the Ryoncon, but I guess it doesn't really matter for Korak. He has two Ryama and just really wants to pair one of those floaters up. Yeah, throws. It is the most efficient to throw the Sanzo, as much as it is painful to say, but just not looking great here for Korak. Just not getting those tiles that he needs. And Simon throwing the East. It was already once cut, but is missing out on a pair there. But I guess it doesn't really matter. So like, kind of want the Pinfu anyway. There's a pair for Korak. Will we keep it? Yes, it's technically. I imagine that is the more efficient play. Ryankon, Ryaman, Ishanten for Ricci, hopefully Pinfu Dora. Even without the Pinfu, he can throw out the 3 pin for the Nakasuji trap, although with it being the Ricci tile, it is going to look a little suspicious. Yeah, point getting to a decent eh, 2 Shanten for a Tanyo hand.
1、
There's a Tenpai, and Ghost actually had a Nakasuji trap either way. This one's to the 4 pin. I guess it really doesn't make a difference either way. Cause like both of those. Just which one do you think is a better tile? I personally would have went with a 6 pin.
1、
There's a chasing Ricci, much better weight for a 7 pin, and 7 pin is gonna boost you to the dealer. However, Alex does need those points. Might just chase it with throws the Forso. And that's gonna be pretty hard to actually chase, but I imagine he'll be smart enough to avoid dealing in until he absolutely has to. So maybe might just do the 7 pin just because it's safe to the dealer. Not sure what else he really has here. 3 mon. Oh, 3 mon safe to the dealer. There is that. Might do 5 mon or 7 mon because just gets to pay. Gets bailed a little bit, except gets the last towel to throw. And 5 is just safe, so gets safe from dealing in. Just 2 players Tenpai. Okay. 1 mon Dora yet again, but none for Korak this time, although it can be accepted with the 2 mon in hand. Okay, that is a pretty good draw for Korak. Gets 2 Ryaman, has a pair already. So hopefully it doesn't end up on a Conchon like last time. Just really needs to draw around the 3-6-0. Joe's hand looking like a
ポン、
mess. Like it probably should have been like a what's the word? Kokoshi attempt even. Or not even just that, just like folding high priority, but it wouldn't have been terrible. That's 4 in the discard and like 6 more in the hand.
1、
Of that Chun call, any dream of Kokoshi would be long gone, and yeah, it gets to force it to not really a force, but gets to play a half flush hand. Although having that pair of pay would have been nice instead of this 1-3 mon. It is 10 pi for Alex on the 7, so with 2,300 in the middle, so that 1,000 point hand gets boosted to 3,300. Joe is getting lots of draws for progressing
相撲
that half flush, but doesn't matter. Point gets a sumo. Bonus 100 points from the sumo and gets a temporary first place. You can, yeah, you can think about the Itsu here, but it gets rejected actually. Oh, but punished by that immediate 2-pin draw. Guess even, well, you could fill in like 7-pin, 7 mon, and have 7 so south Shabo, but it's getting missing on the Itsu is like not that big of a deal really, because like so many bad shapes in there to fill in. I imagine he doesn't really want those. Hey, Joe, looking for the pair of Chun, which is not out there at all yet. Okay. Gets a nice fill in. Just Alex just needs that 7-pin for Ricci, Pinfu, Dora. Or just a Ricci Dora if he fills in the Rionman. It does have the. I'm not sure if there's a term for an almost 80 Yonkin, but the 2 8-mon cut does make it feel like the 4-7 is bad, or the 3-6 as it may be. Plus, it's just near the Dora, which just makes it already feel bad. Now, Korak does have 5 pairs. It's gonna look for a way to not make this cheat toy, but that's pretty much a cheat toy, and especially when you draw that Dora, it just yeah, just commits to the cheat toy. Okay, Joe grabs a tune. That is, yeah, it's Dama Tempai on the 4-mod. Doesn't
Each.
Reachy, understandably. And that is a reach of Simon. Oh, that's the 1-mod doesn't deal in. It's a 3-sided 147 mon Furry 10. Doesn't get the Ipatsu. See, 2 more 1-mon, 1 4-mon, 3 7-mon left in the wall. Sumo is a Yaku. And there will be Reach, Sumo, Pinfu, and Adora if he does get it.
地
Okay. Alex gets to cheat a 7-pin, trying to get to 10 pi. I guess, well, doesn't know that Simon's just furry 10, but yeah, the 7-mon. Huh.
相撲
Oh, sumo tune for Joe. Good. Oh yeah. Wait. Huh? Oh, Sanchiku. Oh, that's why he didn't. I mean, that's why he kept that. It's like thinking, why didn't he take that potential doorway? And the reason is Sanchiku. That's a pretty big hand for Joe.
ポン
Really showing up strong in the series. Gets Adora pretty soon into his dealership. Has the White Dragon pair. That is Korak cursed again by Chitoy having 4 pairs. Not Adora this time, but a lot of pairs in these hands. 5th pair for Korak. There's that East call from point. Could be going on that East Dora 2. Or even, yeah, that pair 4-mon gets the possibility for toy value for point. Oh, but Simon is cooking with that. What if he draws another 1-mon? It'd have to be the last one, but could have a potential Pinfu Junshan Ipeko. Not sure. I feel like you could argue to throw the 2-3 Mon here as Simon, but yeah, I'm not sure what would be the right play there.
Pump.
A pawn of 7 pawn, and there's the Dorotanki for Alex. There's only one more of those that is in the wall, and the remaining ones just fit into the hands. And I imagine, yeah, decides not to be insanely greedy, and goes for the 6-9. So wait for East Dora. Quite a few of those left in the wall. There's a pretty good Ashanton for Joe, just looking for 1-4 pin, 5
Sumo.
pin, and the White Dragon, but Alex rewarded for not being greedy, and so it was a 6-0 for East Dora. See, Simon has an Uncle of 7 on, pair of White Dragons, but uh, this it's not sure what this hand wants to be yet. Could at least hedge a half flush, but doesn't want to commit too hard to it, understandably. Probably just wants to win the White Dragon and get a repeat. No White Dragons available for that pawn yet, though. And
Pump.
as I say that, Korok throws it out immediately. Korok had the Yonko of Pei. It's Ryan Khan, 2 Ryan and Nishantan. No value, but
Chi.
could hopefully be fast. Simon's also progressing pretty quickly with a Kanchan, Ryamen, Ishantan for just the White Dragon. That's Dama.
Each.
Yeah, Tanyo. Waited 1 turn and did a Karagiri Richi for point for Richi Tanyao and Adora. The value is there, but the weight is terrible.
Each.
There's a
Sumo.
chasing Richi. Oh, but correct donates a stick. Richi, Sumo, Tanyao, Dora. Massive hand for Alex. Let's see. Korak has pretty decent shapes here. 3 Ryanmen and a floating Dora out there. It's just none of those shapes are completed yet, but it's at least not terrible. Oh, that's more and more pairs. You might just be fed up with this hand and just force the Tanya.
Chi.
There's a call from Alex trying to secure his lead. Let's see, minus 114 with. Hmm. Alex definitely wants like 2 firsts here or a decent first and a second. That could be enough to get him out of demotion, depending on how good those are. Oh. Hmm. Alex throws the 6 Mon. I guess if you really want to like read, probably keeping the 1 pin as a safe tile, you could just chi 5 pin. Wait, no. It still needs. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Cheese a 5 pin, cheese 2 Mon, and then Dora Tonki. I don't know. I feel like if you do want to call like that, you just take the maximum efficiency and mixes out on that 6 Mon pair for doing that. Fourth, four pairs for Korak. See, committing to Cheetoy, just throwing two pin to be safe against the open hand. I guess he really doesn't want to throw the Dora. If he throws a Dora deals in, that's going to be sending him to last place. And without a dealership left, that'll be in a pretty bad spot to be in. And Joe actually has a
1
pretty... Ooh. Is that Ricci? Pinfu Dora on 6 9 mon. Half that's already out, though, but the remaining half is just completely in the wall. But Alex, so yeah, is Tenpai in the 5 pin for Tanyao and 2 Dora, but there's only one of those left in the wall. Will probably be incentivized greatly to just throw that 9 6 mon out. There's a 6 mon drawn by Korak, but has no reason to throw it. Unfortunately for Alex, does not draw the 9 mon. Joe, what can you throw here? Yeah, throw a 7 so. Right, 2 players Tenpai and 1 Richisek and 1 Hama for Alex's dealership. Although that is a very slight 200 point difference between Korak and Simon, but that can be made up quite easily. Ooh, point with... That's definitely a call and go hand. Like, it's the 1 pin might be a little too suspicious just to call that, but you really want to call the 8 pin though, because that's not too suspicious. Getting that Toy Hatsu 2 Dora. You get something from somewhere, like if somehow someone lets you pawn that Dora, you get a Hanuman out of that.
Pom.
Actually pawns the 1 pin. I didn't think he would do that. So people are gonna be suspicious about his Yaku.
Pom.
8 pin might just look like a flush. Doesn't throw 4 5 mon to give that, but you do want to keep that 4 5 on just in case someone throws the green dragon anyway, just so you can get the good weight
Pom.
Tenpai. But Alex gets the 4 mon pair up, so the 4 mon and 2 so pairs are going to be pretty hard to call, but you don't even need the Hatsu now. You just get Toy Dora too.
Chi.
The 1 Dora in Simon's hand is just going to stay there since it is next to the 3 so. The last Dora somewhere, but Hatsu is just still not yet found in the wall. It's got a con here. I imagine he won't do that. Yeah, he needs points, but that's... Although, there are 3 people open. But Joe can hit those crazy Ura. So it's probably specifically scared of Joe Ricci, but gets saved from generating any additional value for other players. Oh, and there's the Hatsu. Surely... Oh, he goes for the greed for the Tuso Formon. Tuso is going to
Pom.
be a Hanuman with Hatsu, Toy, and 3 Dora, but... Yeah, the Tuso, Jojo with Tuso. There's just 1 Formon in the wall for Alex to win off of. That's 3.
Dong.
Oh, Joe throws out the Tuso. It is... Oh, that's 18,000 deal in. It it is one chance, but it's still like it's Dora, and that's a toy and at least Joe is not hurting for those points, but that kind of dealing is exactly
Pom.
what Alex needs. That's his good first right there. It's gonna be pretty hard to lose that with 59,000 points in South 2.
Pom.
And gets that tune early. Gonna be loving that. Just drawing. Hmm. You could even greed and go like five so here, but no, that's a little too greedy. But it's also like, do you even really want to win that 2,100 points here? I mean, yeah, I guess so. It's just it's gonna suck if you call in 3 times and then deal into a Ricci. But this is going pretty fast. All right, that's a 369 pin 10 pie. Imagine uh you draw 7 pin. I don't know. It's just, I guess you just accept your tempai, especially since you already threw the 2 pin. Korak, it's gonna have a lot of those tiles, but does Ricci, that is I'm not even gonna try to read that. I'm just gonna assume it looks like yeah, I don't know. 2 pin, 1 2 pin is 1 2 that's
Pump.
at least 1 2 4 pin. Because that's not part of Alex's weight.
Pump.
It's pretty good.
Sumo.
And there's a 1 pin. Believe Nadi Patsu Sumo, since I believe a tile is called. It's Richi Sumo Penfu. I'm gonna assume that's what that means. That seems about right. Pretty wide weight, but low value, but that does get Korak into a much more secure second. Okay, Joe with the white dragon pair and 2 other dragons, but Simon has the red dragons. Oh, gets another dragon pair, but it's almost never going to get that tune. I
Pump.
I don't like the 7 9 mon cut, because if you were gonna say force a flush, well, you had more tiles
Eat.
than the other suits, and people are throwing tiles in the mod suits, so it feels like they would give you those to you more. But this is a quick Ricci for Simon on the 2 5 mon. Just Ricci no me.
Pump.
Joe calling for that green. Oh, it's gonna keep that show song and die song and dream alive a little bit longer. And Korak gets that red dragon right after seeing 2 calls. Just can he throw that? See, right now, I mean, he can. It'd be very unwise to. It's not actually gonna do anything, but you just can't throw that. See, 2 5 mon. That weight is still just 1 2 mon, and all of the 5 mon left in the wall. Okay, 8 pin, 8 pin. Yeah, Alex just doesn't want to deal into anything. Because it wouldn't really be hurt too much by dealing into Simon, assuming it's not anything big, but not sure what makes 8 pin the cut there, but it ended up working. There's a 5 mon drawn by Joe. Ooh, Joe. I mean, I guess, yeah, the 9 so weight is dead, but the tune, oh, not gonna switch to the 3 6 mon. I understand wanting the value, but although it is none cut from his perspective, so just believing he could sumo, but unfortunately it's not possible. But I imagine okay, another 5 mon drawn. That's just one more 2 mon and one more 5 mon to draw. That is huh. 2 Ankos and 2 pairs for Korak actually with 2 Dora. If, no, it's just gonna fold out. Not gonna get anything like Suanko or Toy 2 Dora. All right, no sumo for Simon. Yeah, just two players Tenpai. Korak still in second by a little bit. Joe gets another chance to rack up some points for his dealership. But that is a lot of Pinzu in Simon's hand. Two Onkos. So the 8-9 pin is a pretty shape, but if you cheese 7 pin, you might just force the Chinitsu out of there. That 8,000 point ad would get you out of last place. Well, third place, but more importantly, it would get you to a positive placement. So right now, Simon's going to lose about 13 points.
Home.
If there's a tune call from point, it's going to be Kanchan Ryaman E. Shantan. Yeah, it's looking like Simon's most likely just
Home.
gonna have a Tanya for this hand. Yeah, throwing the 8-9 pin. Can Chi the four really wants to Chi the 4 pin specifically so they don't have to worry about one pin for E10. It won't be a big hand, but it'll get Joe off the dealership. And more importantly, make it a lot harder for Simon to get into last place. Because if Joe wins a big hand, that'd be really unfortunate. But Joe didn't believe in the Sanzo, threw away the 1-2 so penchant over the West. Yeah, I believe, yeah, if you are gonna like throw away a pair, which you probably should when you have two or three pairs, that would be the right play. Throw the Wests first, because the 1-2 so like Conchons are they like feel bad, but it's still a shape that is just one away from filling in. So Conchons aren't necessarily as bad as you think, or Penchons rather. Same thing, but
Each.
it can feel bad sometimes. There's Ricci from Korak on the 7-mon. Unfortunate for him that the Encore of 7-mon are just in Alex's hand. But there's still one more 7-mon out there to win on. And similarly, unfortunately for Alex, that the 2-5 can wait, but Simon has 6 of those. There's just one more 5 in the wall to win on. Yeah, even if, let's see, Joe, yeah, could like try to be Tempai, but is just going to try to fold here. Okay, Simon gets Tempai. Toy Toy Tanyao. Quite a bit of value there, actually. On 4-5 Mon. There's just, yeah, like the one 4 Mon left in the wall for that. So just Joe, not Tenpai, and everyone else Tenpai. Going to South 4 with 2 Hama and 2 Richi 6 on the table. With Alex looking good with that Dora pair up, but Joe and Korak are not going to let those go easily. Although Korak's hand, if he fills in that 4 pin, is I imagine he's just gonna let it go and just secure second. There would be a little bit of a sad second. It would be a negative second because being below 30,000, but it would stop any bleeding. That's Kutsuki Ishanta for
Chi.
Simon for just a Richinomi.
Home.
But Joe lets the door come out. That's not Tenpai for Alex yet, but people will have reasons to be scared now. So really needs to fill in that Forso and get the 5-8 Ryamen. And like technically Korak can throw the 4-so, but it's much more likely to throw the 1-so because he really wants value for Tanyao. And there's a 1-so, but ooh. Gets the 2-so just before the one so cut. A little unfortunate, but
Peach.
two Rhiannon. Ooh, there's a reaching from Simon. 3-6 Mon. Hmm. 8 pin comes out from Korak. It's
Home.
not folding, just trying to Washi, I suppose. Yeah, can't take Tempai here. Oh, but he'll
Peach.
probably deal in. Yeah, greeting for Pinfu on 3-6 pin. Actually misses it. Avoids the deal in. And ooh, Alex also avoids the deal in. Tempai on 1-4 so for that Haku Dora 3. And
Long.
yeah, Joe throws the one so Suji to the dealer, save to Korak, and Alex gets a massive first, exactly what he needs. Yeah, plus 60. So that's about minus 54. Fairly safe. Would have to take a relatively bad fourth to get back to demotion range. And oh, and but now Korak is in danger actually. Yeah, just needs to win a positive second at the very least to avoid demotion. And I personally need Simon to be at least like a third again. Yeah, it's going to be a very tense final game in this series. Yeah, Joe. Yeah, Joe is pretty far away. That he just needs to like play the game. It'd have to be a truly disastrous fourth to actually like really mean anything for him. But yeah, Alex can't lose too much because I guess yeah, just like a 15,000. Yeah, 15,000 fourth would be disastrous for Alex. But he has quite a bit of wiggle room there from what he had. But then Simon, yeah, Joe doesn't really have anything to play for. Alex just needs to not lose. Korak needs to win a bit, and Simon also wants to win a bit. Korak just needs plus 6, yeah, but he did get that second, but it was a negative second, so that didn't. I believe that was second, unless that reach changed something. I'll look at the stats. Yeah. Oh, minus 6.3 second. That was not as good as I thought it was. I believe he was like pretty much like if that was minus 6.3, yeah, minus 81. So like any negative second for Korak was pretty bad there actually, but I guess it doesn't also really change much. Except he just needs to gain points now. And let's see. This last game, I guess they are taking a bit of a breather just to like calculate their conditions because they do have a lot of conditions here. All right, I think we will take a bit of a break as they are, and we'll be looking at this game when it starts, and we'll see who will be the champion, me or Simon. It's going to be very interesting to see. All right. In about a minute or two, we are going to see this final game in the A11 series. Let's see who exactly will be the champion of A1 this season. Yeah, Simon getting the first dealership, which some would argue that in a tournament setting, that is the most advantageous seat to be in. But in normal, these games are untied, so it doesn't really matter, I guess. But some people have their favorite seats. I used to like North Seed, but it has been unkind to me at times. Oh, that Sanzo fill in for Simon. That's pretty good. The hand, it's probably just going to call the Way Dragon and not have a ton of value, though. And Alex getting lots of Pinzu. Imagine, yeah, just it's going to force the Chinitsu. Okay. Simon gets a Dora, so it's lucky he gets White Dragon, Dora, and maybe somehow Ricci. If he gets a 6 mon
走
fill in and just draws around 4-7 pin, that's going to be a pretty nasty wait. Yeah, Alex calls the 7 pin, gets rewarded with another pin draw, can just pawn 4-3 pin for Tenpai for Chinitsu on another 7 pin. There's a 3 mon draw for Simon. He decides to go for the greed, throws West West. Really wants that 6 mon fill in. All right. Korak getting 2 Dora himself now. A pretty decent Ishanten. Ooh. Another Dora for Simon, though. Is Korak gonna call that? That is Tenpai for
1
Tanyo 2 Dora. That's oh. Doesn't
ポン
greed, just call that.
ロン
Huh. It's a very good exchange for Korak. That's 3,900. Oh, gets a Sanjaku. So yeah, just it's like, huh. Seems uncharacteristic for the door, but had the chance of the same value anyway, and it just really worked out. Good job, Korak. Okay, one pin Dora here.
ポ
That
ン
is kind of lonely in two players' hands, but Alex can use it in the penchant. Has decent shapes to call for that. Dora gets thrown immediately by Simon. Doesn't get pawned, but there's that 7 mon fill in for Korak. It's going to be pretty good, but Korak really needs to get rid of those low Nyakuai pairs. Except pairs up the Green Dragon, so could do something a little bit with this to accelerate the hand. Or is it just that's like a fourth pair? It's like just Cheetoy. Okay, Joe, despite getting more Montiles, is just rejecting the lone honor pairs, trying to get the door accepting Riaman, I suppose, but I feel like if you're gonna throw those honors instead of going for the flush, you would keep that Forso. You'd be pretty happy
ポ
with
ン
that 3 Forso Riaman. And there's Hatsupan for Korak. Drew the Yonko of 1 so it's just Hatsu Tenpai for 2 5 3 2 and there's a
ロン
5 from Simon. Deals in for just 2,000. Oh, there's that Fu. Oh, yeah. 4 Fu from the Dragon, then 8 from the 1 triplet. It's a good win for Korak. 2 Dora here. Simon has 2 of those, but uh that hand, the best it can be right now is like Sanshoku Doko of the two, since you do have 5 of those 2s, but I imagine no one is just gonna let you pawn that 2 though. So it's gonna be you're gonna want to make Tanya with that, but with 2 Dora, you definitely want to get those points up. Crux hand is looking to be pretty fast though. Imagine won't get the Sanshku, gets the door instead, but Just really needs to draw 2 or 4 mon for a three-sided Ricci, Ricci Pinfudora, potentially Tanyao Tenpai. Yeah, you definitely just cheese Formon if it comes out, but Simon's gonna be able to accept one of those Formon at least, so I imagine it doesn't come out too easily. Yeah, Korra passes the 2 pin. You don't want to cheat away your
Boom.
great shape like that. Hatsu is paired up by Simon. Can still like 2 Shanten, but with 2 Dora. It's gonna be pretty nice.
C.
Oh yeah. There's a chief of Korak, but it's just, well, 2 Mons, so no Yaku if you take that. Really needs that 4 Mons. Just there are 3 of them in the wall, but ooh, there's Tenpai. 6 Mon, 2 So. Oh, Korak, yeah. Gets saved by efficiency and well, Tanya gets to keep the 6 Mons, so won't deal in for that. And yeah, that weight is just
Each.
yeah, the weight is just dead for Simon.
C.
There's a great Ricci, Pinfu, Tanya, Dora. 258 pin weight. All right, what are you gonna throw here, Alex? Do a 5 Mon half Suji? Not even just throws 8, so yeah, not really a lot of good choices there. 8 pin. Default?
Boom.
No. Deals into at least that Mangan. Flips and Ura doesn't matter, but yeah, Simon does have 2 dealer. Actually, no. Simon was first dealer. Only has 1 dealership to make up that deficit. And Korak again with a great dealer hand. Lots of just yeah, that's like 2 Rhiannon. Has has a few too many pairs, but okay, that fixes things. Gets you Tanya, gets rid of your inefficient extra
Boom.
pairs. Like could have like a really good Ishanten, although huh. Just calling for Tanya Dora, it feels I don't know, it feels a little for how good that hand is. But yeah, Korak does really want to secure that lead, so we'll take any attempt to get those points. And is already Tenpai for Tanya Dora, 5 8 Mon.
Boom.
That lone 8 Mon could come out from Simon at any moment, really. And
Go.
as I say that, there's that Mon for 3,500. Yeah, Simon's going to need a lot of points here. And that hand is. Those are shapes. That's a potentially pickle right there, but those are. I guess, yeah, the best that hand could be is like Ricci, Pinfui, Peiko. It does have a lot of chances for 2 Ura, but you do have to get those 5 pins first, and that's very unlikely with 2 of those in Joe's hand. And Korak again with a pretty good, like,
Boom.
you just will, yeah, call Chun, get your, not quite Tempai yet, but Chun Dora, potential 3-sided weight. Throws the 8s though. Huh. I feel like that just feels wrong. Surprised I didn't take that 1 pin Chiefer Tenpai on. It would be a pretty bad one, 4 pin 7 So. But if you did keep that 8 So, that'd be a 3 6 9 So Tenpai. Now you take Tenpai and Formon, which is all in the wall, but yeah, I don't know about keeping that 5 Mon. You do like have a lot of overlap there, but it just feels really bad. If you had that 3 or 4 6 4 5 6 7 8, there'd be the super right there on the Sanzo. I guess with this you can slide to a Sanchoku, but I just keep the like better chances of a pretty good weight. You don't really. I do wonder like Korak does do log reviews, and everyone but Korak is just
C.
drawing those 4 Mon, and they just fit in the hand. Crook can swap to the 6 mon, but because of the potential slide here, wait, oh, but you can't even really slide here because you can slide to 2-4, but you
1
can't send the 2 pin out because that's Dora.
雲
Oh, but Korak just sumos. Simon donates a stick. The last 4 mon. Surprising that worked out. And another. Mm, yeah, I mean, that's pretty good. Salmon Chan, Anko of 6 pin, and a pair. You're not likely to get Tanyo because of that West pair, because it's really inefficient to cut that, but it's looking again to probably be another repeat for Korak. The other hands are not looking too great. I guess Alex could challenge with a Tanyo. He does have incentive to challenge. Actually, well, not that much. He just needs to not be last, pretty much. And Simon is very much in last. Okay, now Cora can even get the Tanya, just draw a 7 pin, throw West West. Might even just throw West West now. No, throws 8 pin. I do guess, like, if you do draw around that 8 pin, like half of those draws, namely the 9 pin, does give you the chance to like not be Tanya. So imagine once Korak draws around this 4, so we will see the West West come out. Now that is, yeah, it's a Chitoy Shantan for Alex. I guess at this point it'll also be, yeah, Chitoy Tanyo. Ooh, backfire throwing that 8 pin before, which I don't know. I don't mind the 666 8 shape personally. And there's Tempai for that Tanyao Chi on the 8 mon from Alex. 2 more of those left in the wall, but Korak can't accept those. And Simon, I imagine, just. Oh,
4
actually throws it out. Hmm. Yeah, that could have fit in for like a Shinitsu greed or like an Itsu, I believe. Was that okay? Joe. Okay, that's like not Kokushi. It's like that's a lot of unique terminals and honors there. But no, not even gonna try for it. Has quite a few middle tiles that you don't need to go for it. Dora 7 so.
ポン
And Alex gonna call for that White Dragon. Lots of pawns that can happen. Could even be the Toy, but that seems kind of unlikely. But there is a possibility of that. And yeah, that 7 pin fill in, yeah, just gonna take an okay Shantan. Ooh, 2 Dwarf for Joe now. Yeah, that hand was pretty bad, but it just is filling in fairly nicely. It does have like too many pairs though, but okay, there's that 6 mon. 2 so Tempai. Unfortunately for Joe, unless the hand becomes Chitoy. Hmm. Well, I imagine we'll probably, yeah, it might even be right now on that 6 mon. Oh wow, avoids a deal in for now. But now that is Tempai, but
4
yeah, not a great one, but just deals in for 1500. Not really that big of a deal. And Alex gets a double East to start off with. Not in anyone else's hand yet. Korak, yeah, Korak's playing very well to his condition now. just needs to be like a positive second, really, but is fairly likely to be first. It's not guaranteed, but fairly likely. Might even greed for like the no, could arguably greed for a half flush
Pump.
here with yeah, is just gonna commit to it. But Alex Izzy Shanton doesn't it's just gonna be like Vichinomi if you draw the 7 pin or 3-6 so I don't does he take it? So those 6-8 pin. I could see throwing 6-8 pin. Actually just throws two so Dama Tenpai. So I feel like the angle for me, yeah. 7 pin thrown out before it gets dangerous by Korak. I imagine Korak would have just not thrown out the 7 pin if there was a Ricci anyway.
Pump.
And there's the East. And now, well, now you get your Tenpai, but now it's just a Tonki when it could have been a two-sided weight. I guess there are still quite a few ways to draw into a two-sided weight that isn't Furry 10, but hmm. I feel like if you were going to do that, you just wouldn't accept the Tenpai in the first place. I guess you just want a Dama Sumo. Oh, it is a Suji 3 pin, but you have two of those already. And I don't believe Joe has a reason to throw those 3 pin ever. Switch to the 7, so Tonki. That's Suji, and more importantly, not two in your hand. So yeah,
Pump.
Simon is waiting to con here. Has all the 5 pins. Oh,
Kang.
that's Tenpai. Con into
Beach.
Ricci. Flips to Dora. 4-7 so. Oh, Alex, you're gonna fold? Yeah, you should fold here, especially against that con. If you deal in any pots here, that is gonna be terrible. Throws 1 pin. Yeah, that is a safe towel. Guess not wanting to like, yeah, if you throw away. I mean, I imagine, yeah, it's just really a fold angle against that con Ricci. See, there is no 4 so's left in the
Chi.
wall and 2 7 so's. Korak gets to Chi, throws the Sanzo out. It is a safe tile. Just waiting on 3 mon. It is Dora, but it's Dora. It is a Mangan, but I guess Korak. Yeah, Korak should be folding though if he does draw something that's dangerous, I imagine. Okay, and that is just going to be, yep, Simon and Korak Tenpai. Unfortunate for Simon though that when you wait until getting that con or waiting until Tenpai to con, and you just con into Ricci, it feels pretty good, but just didn't end up working out. Those 7 so never showed up. All right. That's a pretty decent hand for Joe to start off with. Green Dragon Dora, that's just 1 points hand, and then one in Joe's just sends it out. It's better to not regret by throwing it out earlier sometimes. So that's a let's see, that is a 3, 6, yeah, nine terminals and honors for Simon. And there's a pair up. Gonna be looking for that Kokoshi. Can he actually get it? Yeah. Doesn't have the green, which is both very dangerous but also very desired. So people like keep that around for as long as they can. See, Joe's hand is does need a locked in pair, but it is Ishanten.
Home.
And there's a Chun pawn from Korak, but fortunately for Simon, he does have the last Chun. That is, yeah, 7-mon Tenpai for Korak for just Chu Nomi. Still 3 of those left in the wall. Oh, yeah. And I'm being joined now by Nathaniel,
Chi.
who is ready to commentate this last game and potentially some other games. Not sure what the plan is after this one, but there are lots of games going on today.
Um, Hi, thanks for holding down the fort, Dustin. I imagine it's been quite exciting watching these few games that we've had. What is the situation now?
Yeah, Korak went on a pretty big dealer rampage in his East dealership, and Simon just kept on dealing in, unfortunately. And yeah, Simon was going for Kokushi. It looks like it's just giving up. I don't know
Home.
if I guess, well, shifting to a half flush. I'm not sure if a tile was killed off, but the shift is looking like it's not the worst shift in the world.
Yeah, what a big swing. I mean, on the top half, Simon's still holding on to the lead, but just barely. And with this point situation, is not going to be able to maintain it. So he's going to need a huge
Home.
run of his own on his dealership.
Yeah,
Dong.
correct. Did switch to the 147. Does win on the 7 mon. He's waiting for like the entire time though. But yeah, it's Simon's last dealership here. It's gonna need a bit of a better hand than this one. It's not super bad, but it's not great.
Yeah, no Dora, a couple terminal pairs. If you end up on that as your Shaba weight, that can be pretty good. But another pair is not exactly what Simon's looking for. It does help improve the one so pair a little bit because you can draw the two so now and make a completed shape there. But
Yeah.
like I said, no, it's going to be difficult to make any value. So you're really just hoping to be able to win the hand somehow, even if it's Richi Nomi, and try again in the next one.
Yeah, it's the hand like that. It's just like it's like lucky to get Tempai, although it's not terribly far away now.
But
It
I mean, compared to some of these other hands, I mean, on the left, Joe has a very speedy Tanya, it looks like. Across the way, Alex has some pretty excellent shapes outside of the couple of Kanchans, but there could even be a culpable Itsu as well.
yeah, and then uh Simon
Home.
throwing away the the 4 2 pin. I guess you don't really need that both of those since you can't accept the 3 pin still. So that is E Shandon for Simon. Although, oh,
Chi.
that that 8 so pawn is very unfortunate to filling in that 7 9 so Kanchan though.
Yeah.
Especially since Joe can just accept another 8 so.
Even then, just declare Ricci might be good enough to get Joe off the hand. We'll see. As bad as the weight may seem.
Yeah, just getting Tempai is oh no.
Oh
Joe
no.
is just Tempai, gets the last 8 so 4 7 pin. That is that 4 pin might just comes
Dong.
out, doesn't from the hand.
No.
Alex doesn't really care if he loses because Simon is just that much in the hole, and yeah, that Simon he needs to have like a very low third. If you, there are at least 3 hands. Just he's like you can't get 3 Mangan.
Right. That would put you close. One of those probably needs to be a Hanuman though, so
Yeah, I guess more
Home.
realistically is like Hanuman and a Mangan. The South call. It can be a toy toy. There are 4 pairs there. South toy toy.
Doko?
Yeah, the Doko. That is the Formon are still very alive in the wall,
Oh,
but
as we say that,
yeah,
one gets drawn. I mean, that is the route to Hanuman. You have to be dreaming a little bit. It's definitely something you should keep in mind, even if it's extreme, as as unlikely as it is now.
Yeah. But Korak has a
It's perfect Ishan then.
yeah, pretty good Ishanten. For Ricci, probably, or hopefully Tanyo. Hopefully, yep, there's Tempai.
Does he? No, he Damas, does he?
Each.
Nah, of course not.
Korak,
It's Korak.
never. On the first row, he did Dom in the series early, but it was fairly late, and it was like a 2-out Kanchan. So understandable.
I suspect that it was less of a thought process of do I reach or not, and more of do I take the temporary Shabo, assuming that I can draw a Dora later and get Tanyao Pinhui Peiko Dora too. Like that'd be crazy good. And they said no, let's just slam this Ricci and see what comes. And the child's very live in the ball. 6 weights, 4 of them one so.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah, Simon could have pawned the 9 so, but notably, after getting all pairs of the 4, another pair of the 4,
No way.
they're still the last 4 mon in the wall.
And there's a 4 yeah, the 4 mon. He needs to find a non 3 so or 6 so in order to use the 4 as a triplet. So really just needs to find a 5 so, which is has 1 left at the wall.
Yeah. So one more of those
6 mon.
4 so.
6 mon Nakasuji.
Yeah, it passes.
Could the dream actually manifest itself here?
Could, and if he kept the pair of 9 so, just really want that 4 mon.
That would be Tempai.
But yeah, just didn't want to go that much in the hole. But I guess if you really need those points, like you shouldn't be throwing, but it's like still like really want to get those.
Yeah, I mean, a 5-8, incredibly suspicious being around the door, and certainly understandable to not want to jam them.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the last 5. Okay, he's going to need an 8 so now. There's none of those in the wall. So I fear that the Doko chance might not exist anymore.
And Korak just not being able to draw those tiles to win, get the turn 6 Ricci.
Home.
Tiles are in the wall. The last 4 mon's still somewhere though.
Yeah, 2 1-sos as well. 3 tiles in total for Korak.
Oh, that Simon can't actually draw the 8 so because that's just in people's hands.
Korak looks at that sim and says, I would have Sumo! There's the
Oh.
1-so.
Those
Yeah,
are
5
5
safe.
so yeah, 5 safe, yeah. So just Korak getting 3 10-5 payments, but
Wow, that
yeah.
almost turned in. It turned out the 4-mon was not live for Simon, so wouldn't have gotten it, but what a close hand.
Now, did someone draw it or it's just stuck in the dead wall?
I think it was Deadwald.
Oh, but Simon's gonna be able to get a path to Mangan with
Gee.
a Chinitsu here. But quick, oh, is that? It's Chanta.
This is very interesting. Can be Shanta, can be
Gets the 8-pin.
can be Sanchoku.
I mean,
It's a very Korak call.
I don't know. It's
super speculative, right? But
like I kind of hate it, but maybe it'll work out.
well, it's working out. Ishant then could be Junshan at this point.
Yeah, Junshan without Sanchoku.
That's right. We gave up on that with the 8-pin cut. But now Headless can accept the 3 so and the 2 mon, as well as just pairing up any of the 2 1s.
Yeah. And Joe with the 3-pin pair and the 6-pin Anko is just really gonna cut down on the Chinitsu possibilities from Simon.
Oh, south pair. That's Dora.
Ooh, yeah. I guess you don't even need Chinitsu with the south pair, but
Yeah, Ricci Dora too. You can sumo for Mangan.
Ricci Dora too. But I feel like there is Tenpai, I believe. 2 5-pin.
Each.
If you want to take it.
I think you have to slam because the 2-pin looks good, so you can slam and hope for the sumo. I wonder if Simon will pass run here. That's also viable, but there is Uda chances that will also give you Mangan.
Chi.
Yeah, but they're believe it's one Hanba, one Ricci Sick in the pot right now.
Yeah, if we hover over the middle, it should show up.
Yeah, Korax just pretty much folding here. Puts the Suji 3 Mon. That weight
Yeah.
is still very live in the wall though. 2 2-pin, 3 5-pin.
Oh, quite good.
Yeah, and Alex especially does not want to deal in though, so he will fold to his
Boom.
best ability, I imagine.
Joe's fighting.
Joe, yeah. Tempai 7-so 3-pin. 7-so might just come out because of it being one chance.
Oh, but there's the 2.
Oh, there's the
Boom.
2. Joe, I guess by stealing, yeah, taking the pawn did actually prevent Simon from sumoing though, so
Oh, wow. So that actually was huge because he missed the Uda, so only got 5,200 from that.
well,
That
yeah,
ended up being a
missed
big
the
swing.
Ura and the sumo.
So now Simon down to 2 hands, and he's pick up about 22,000 points. So really needs that Hanuman desperately. Oh, but maybe it's Alex who's got the spicy hand. Mochi
Yeah,
mochi.
but yeah, Chun Mochi Mochi. Let's see, what could Simon build this hand? Has a Dora, has a Riyaman, I guess. Ricci, Pinfu, Dora. Hope you flip an Ura. 30% chance, roughly. I guess there is a 1-2-3 Sanchoku there. But yeah, if there is a Ricci, Simon will just throw out all of the honors, I imagine. Like getting the Daisong is like tempting, but it's also just like he just needs to not deal in. Like a 15,000 last would be disastrous. So
Yeah. I mean, we got to consider for Alex here, his only goal is to stay above Andre. As long as he stays above Andre, he is safe. That's
yeah,
assuming Garrick doesn't make a huge comeback, which in 2 games is theoretically possible.
does need
Kind of
quite a
interesting.
bit.
Didn't she that 8-mon into Tempai?
I mean, imagine this is the last game. He might even just not really want to like. If it's not for a flush, it's like we just like want to move the game along, and now you just know that the Daisongan is dead. So I imagine. Oh yeah, uh, I don't know if that was the second or third 8-mon when that came out from Korak, but it's that 7-9 is a very dead
Yeah,
Mensu.
I believe it was the third, and now it's very difficult to get that
Boom.
last one.
Yeah, might just like not just wants to move the game along. It's a
Boom.
long day, 4 games. Oh, actually calls 5, so you can still get the show Saganir.
There is
Well,
still one pocket
technically,
left.
but yeah, you just won't get the Chuna unless there is a Ricci, and Korek is nothing better than that.
Nope. Oh, Khan is actually kind of risky here.
I mean,
Kang.
he actually
Khan's it
does
anyway.
it. He didn't do it before when he had an opportunity, but does it here. Someone draws another Dora, but it's just can't keeps it around. I guess you could. You can't actually get another one, but you can get a 4-mon or a 4-pin rather.
Swap the pair. And Simon has to play for it because this is a great opportunity with 2 Uda indicators. You slap a Ricci. If you can get 2 Dora in your hand already. Okay, the pay come
Yeah.
out does.
Let's see. This call from Joe. Looking for Tanya. It has a lot of like pairs to call though. I
Chi.
guess that Chi for Tempai, 4-so 6-so. I guess if Alex switches off the 6-0, not sure what would be a good reason to, but I'll just
Bakugo.
sumo.
But
Well,
just small. And that puts it all in one hand for Simon now.
Yep. Simon is basically Yakuman Shibari. Because if you do get a that green red. Oh, red being the Dora. That that's still like a Mangan.
Sunfly is not enough.
No, Sambai
Oh,
Mon
right,
is enough.
Sunfly is enough.
Sambai Mon is enough.
I think Baimon's not enough.
Um,
Okay, so how do we build Sambai here?
I think no Paimon is enough if it's direct on Alex, I believe.
Uh, that would put him to 23. So just by
G.
direct on Alex would put him in second. That's still a minus
Uh,
6.7, which I think is barely too much. So he needs a Ricci stick too.
yeah, definitely it could happen, but Korak
Even
is
that's too much.
calling, gets to fill in on that 3-5 Kanchan.
Ooh,
Was actually Tenpai, but no Yaku. But yeah, Korak just looking to end this. Half
oh,
flush Chitoi, though, with Door 2 with Ricci and Ura. That is your path.
that would do
Still a
it.
little far away, though.
But there are tiles on the wall for this. I mean, east is very live. The north as well. I think they're all on the wall. So
Korak, it just eats the Dora, doesn't get pawned because I guess Simon I imagine he just knows he needs that Chitoi with Ura, but
he's going for Kokushi.
um,
9 in a
I
pair.
get a 9 and a
Cut,
pair. Yeah,
cutting
that
3-3. Oh,
gets a White Dragon. Still has
9 pin to 2 honors.
yeah, has to throw the 2 pairs. I mean, 3 White Dragons are out, but he has the last one. Correct, still not Tenpai yet, but
There's
that is Tenpai on 6, though. There's only one more of those left in the wall, though.
only one south wind as well. What a huge shove putting all of your hopes for the season on Kokushi.
I mean, that is a way to get value.
Yeah, that's right. Let's
And
put it on Simon right now.
Alex had the 3, so could have thrown the 6, so, but I guess generally you do throw the tile that's
No! Oh, it's coming out.
and the Tanya ends it all.
As it does so frequently. Valiant effort by Simon. And a huge game from Korak to come back from in the demotion zone, in the relegation zone. Big first, plus 53.4. Will once again stay in Division A1. And as we wait for the standings to update, Alex with the minus 1.0 should be safe this season in A1 as well. Joe takes the minus 13.7 comfortably in the positives. And for Simon, just barely faltering at the final step. And unless something dramatic happens with Leon in the last 2 games of his series, maybe I can be the first to congratulate you, Dustin, on taking the champion seat for the winter season 2024. Congratulations.
Well, anything could happen.
Anything can happen. It is
Anything could
possible.
happen.
120 in 2 games is very difficult, but
It's possible.
I'm sure you're not going to count your chickens before they've hatched for sure. But well played season. There were a lot of highlights for you this time around. I particularly am thinking about the Kazuo Yakumon that you found.
Yeah, it was a good one. I had all 4 Sanzos. It was really good.
Condora into Dora.
Yeah, the Dustin special did it in Chicago with real tiles. Got Sanbaimon. That wasn't even the biggest scoring game I got.
Yeah, incredible. An excellent season for you, and of course, for everyone in the A1 division. This was a really, really tense one. I mean, always coming down to the final games every single time. Huge swings happening. And now there's a little bit of drama that can still happen as there's one table that's yet to complete. That is actually there's a couple tables, but one of them that's particularly relevant is the table with Garrick, who is a huge task ahead of him to overtake Andre, and then the table with Viet, who is just barely inside the safety zone, but if he takes even a moderate negative, could fall below Andre into the relegation zone. So hopefully we'll be able to catch that drama as it happens live.
Hopefully, yeah. I guess it does look like we were only planning to run the A1 games today, and those are over. So, huh.
Yeah, it looks like
Guess,
we'll be calling it for the evening. But I mean, what a great showing from everyone at this table. I'm sure it was a terribly exciting series, even though I was playing my own games and missed the first couple. Certainly, the finish was absolutely quality mahjong, and so exciting to watch. And so, thanks everyone for tuning in. We look forward to seeing you in our next stream, which will likely be happening on Wednesday, of course, our regular Wednesday broadcast. And we will keep updated with everything that has happened in the past couple of days. Of course, if you'd like to make sure that you know what's going on, you can follow us on our Twitch channel. You can follow us on Twitter/X. And of course, our website, AmericanReach.org, has all of the standing as every single crucial game takes place. You can see the results that come out of it. In particular, tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, there is that A1 game that I was prefacing. Leon, Lucas, Viet, and Garrick. Leon fighting for 122 games, Garrick fighting for 122 games, and Viet trying to avoid losing about 20 points. So in the case that we do not broadcast that, you want to see what happened, you can absolutely follow us on our website, americanreachy.org, and check out the standings in the A1 division. And of course, you can also throw in a last-second registration for the spring season. Technically, the deadline is passed, but there's a very, very, very small chance that you could sneak in if players needed to fill out a table. So, americanreachy.org for all of that. And before we wrap it up, of course, shout out to Scott for providing the broadcasting for us tonight. We were in desperate need of someone, and he answered the call, as he so frequently does in our time of desperate need. So thank you so much, Scott, and thank you, Dustin, for providing the commentary. I'm sure it was really interesting to hear your perspective as
yeah.
the player who's just outside of the top of the division. So I can't wait to rewatch this later.
Yeah, it's definitely, yeah. I didn't really think I had a chance, but you just play mahjong and you see what happens. And besides, I don't know if you did mention. I will give a shout out to Richinomi, who recently announced their Richinomi Open 3 days ago, I believe. But it is now currently at 163 signups out of 180. So definitely sign up if you are looking to get some mahjong action in what looks to be probably the biggest tournament in America of this year.
Yeah, so far, a 180-person tournament, almost filled out. If you want your spot, you got to sign up soon. You can visit the Richinomi website to find that. All right, well, I think that's it for us. Thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll catch y'all in the next broadcast of the American Reaching Mahjong League.